Well, I wanted to do I've been wanting to do this video for a little while. I get a bunch of questions on the airplane, but specifically on things like the engine, the avionics, that kind of thing. DJ. Okay, if Jan and Alyssa watch this at any time, I think you'll appreciate the fact that I have to manage the dog while I'm doing this, because I know you love your pups. Well, I'll show you my pup here shortly. Anyway, he's after my microphone cord here. So go get him, DJ. Anyway, yeah, I get a lot of questions about the airplane as far as the avionics, the engine specifically. And for those that are not really familiar, this is a 601 XL. It's a B mod, which means it's got the strengthening of the wing, balancing the ailerons, a few of the things that they did with a B modification on this airplane. But what I wanted to talk about today was I want to do a couple of videos on the engine specifically, and I'm going to do one on the avionics that I'm using primarily. And the reason I want to do this is because, having been a small business owner of my own at one time, I understand how hard it is to run a small business successfully and to have good customer service, and what an effort that takes to pull that off. And so while I'm talking about the engine, really what I'm going to be talking about is the company that has provided this engine for me. And I bought this years ago, actually put it in another airplane, was so happy with it though, and I decided I wanted a low wing, I wanted something a little faster. And so I bought this 601 used parts. It was basically, it looked like a pile of, I don't know, rubbish when we started a couple years ago. But we took the engine out of the first airplane we built and we put it in this one. And it is a Viking 130, 130 horsepower. It's out of a Honda Fit, is I think where they get these engines. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about the engine itself, but mostly, like I said, about the company Viking Engines. They have just been amazing. I don't say a lot to them just because I've always felt like, I mean, it's nice to hear from your customers that things are going well and that they're having a good experience. But the best customer, I remember when I was working, I had a party rental company and rented a bunch of stuff. And the best customers were the ones that we delivered to, we took care of business, and you never heard from them again until it was time to rebook with them again. Or, because you knew things were going well. It was just, they used you over and over and over, and I loved that. And you weren't constantly spending time with them, addressing issues and problems and that kind of thing. Well, there was enough of that going on too, but those were the great customers I love. So I try to be as quiet as I can with them until I need something, and that's the key. When I need something from them, it is a common occurrence for me to call and either get Jan or Alyssa on the phone and not have to leave a message. And not only that, but oftentimes, and I get it, phones you can put names in now so you know who's calling, but it's extra special when they answer, "Hey Carl, how's it going?" And that's how they answer typically when I call. And I haven't needed much over the years. This engine has been amazing. I'm going to take the cowling off here in a second, show it to you. But it's been an amazing motor. Anybody that's on the fence about, do I want to order I'm not going to name all the other different types of engines. You guys all know what they are. The airplane engines versus this Honda, basically. It's a Honda motor from Viking. I'm just going to say get off the fence, because you're not going to have a better experience from a company perspective, from the people you deal with perspective. It just can't happen. There's no way it can be better than this. They just do great work down there. You need a part, you need something, you call them. Mostly what I've called Jan about was technical things like, hey, I don't know about something. I don't know, whatever. I can't even think of something at the moment. But he's real quick to say, hey, what about this? And how about we try this? And what about this way? And it's fantastic to have that kind of support from a company. I've actually met Jan when he flew into a friend of mine's place. I'm in Ohio, and of course they're in Florida. And a friend of mine in probably, 40 minutes from here, in central Ohio had a minor issue with his airplane. He couldn't quite figure out, it was running rough or whatever. It wasn't good enough that Jan just talked to him on the phone and just, okay, let's solve it that way. No, Jan flew commercially up to Mansfield or Ashland, I can't remember where we were up there, but flew over there. I went down with another friend of mine and we met him, and he went and flew his airplane and figured it out and did this, that, and of course it fixed it and it was fine. But the thing that was impressive to me was that he was willing to come all the way up there to fix this guy's, what turned out to be very, very minor issue. And I'm not saying, I'm not trying to put this on Jan like, you know, he has to do that with everybody, because man, he would never get anything else done if that's all he did. You're not going to have many issues, if any. And if you are, typically a quick phone call, usually on installation, like how do I do this, how do I do that. But when I show you this engine here in a second, you're going to see that, my goodness, it's the simplest thing in the world to install. Talk about, I know people use the term plug and play a lot. This thing truly is a plug and play piece of equipment. It's amazing. Let me pull the top off real quick. Even right down to this, excuse me. Even right down to this, there goes DJ. The cowling itself, Jan, I didn't realize you could do the cowlings this way, and Jan pointed this out to me. I do mine this way. Everybody's, the wonderful thing about these experimentals, you can do them however you want. I put a couple of clasps on the top then, but then you got the piano hinge on the side. You pull out the pin. I'm going to walk around to the other side here and hopefully not lose my voice. Pull out the other pin. Watch out, DJ. And then pull your cowl off. Pops right off. What I've found is that whenever I go to a fly-in, a breakfast, pancake breakfast or whatever, people see the airplane. Of course, they want to talk about it. They want to have conversation and all that. Well, that's fine and all. But then they want to talk about the engine, because I tell them what the engine is. It's out of a Honda. Let me adjust this a little bit. It's out of a Honda, and they, so I have to pop the top off. Well, then when I pop the top off, forget about it. They are just amazed by just how simple it is, how great it looks. Let me show you this. Let me pull this camera out real quick. I want to show you this installation. This is a Viking 130. And you're going to find a couple of things that are maybe a little different than some others. Let me back away a little bit here. But I mean, look at how clean that is. From this side, you can see there's not a ton of, hoses and wires and just stuff going on. It's very, very clean, simple installation. I have put in I don't know if you can see this, but a heat shield, and I just did that for my own. I'm currently in the process of painting this airplane, and I'm trying to protect it from heat. I ran it for a while without that, and it's fine, but my guys are telling me, oh, you should put something in there, you should add something. So I did. And it seems like it's working okay. But then you got this side, and I'm going to show you this too, just because I don't know how good the light is or anything, but look at that. It is just the cleanest engine installation. People look at it and like, their question is like, where's the rest? It is amazing. It is just as clean as it can possibly be. Let me turn this camera around. You don't want to see my face. If I can. I can't. Actually, I've got it going this way, and that's the way it's going to be. Yeah, it's just absolutely a beautiful, beautiful, easy installation. Typically, I mean, it's as easy as hanging it on the, you get the engine, you hang it on the engine mount, you hook up electricity, you hook up water, you hook up fuel, you're running. It's that easy. And I mean, it is so simple. The electronics of it, piece of cake. It's amazing to me. Now, and like I said, if you have any questions or anything like this, Jan's a quick phone call away. He's always ready to help. It's amazing. The other thing I wanted to mention is when you order from Viking and you order a firewall forward package, which this is from, for a 601, but they put it on 601s, virtually all Zenith airplanes, tons of other RANs, lots of other airplanes. I can't even name them all. They're putting them on, but they do firewall forward kit for you. So what do you get with that? Literally, you get everything that you need to get a running airplane. You'll be running when you finish with everything out of the box. You'll have the airplane ready to go, including prop, spinner, I mean everything. Engine mount, it's all here. And you install it all and it's ready to go. And I was going to show you one other little thing that we did. My guys call us farmer engineers because I got a little farm up here in Ohio and I got my own little grass strip. But we're constantly engineering things and fixing things. And I think Jan's already addressed this. This particular elbow right here for the cooling system, DJ. All right, DJ, I'm gonna show you DJ while I'm at it. All right, DJ, there you go. You're a star. Okay, got it? Now do you have to chew my mic cord now? No, Daddy, but I sure want to eat that camera. This is a good boy. This is a good boy. Anyway, I'm all tangled up. What I did was, Jan, this particular elbow right here for the cooling system, it was kind of a high spot in the engine, so it was hard to get all the air out when you filled it. You just pull this elbow off and you fill it from here, and it was hard to get all the air out. And then you have an expansion bottle back here, if I can show this. Let's see here, right in there. If you can see this or not. This expansion bottle. And what happens is if you have air in the engine beyond the coolant, that air expands at a much higher rate than the coolant does. You use a waterless coolant. No pressure in this system. Beautiful. I love that. If you get a leak, it slowly leaks out. It doesn't spray it all out. So you can probably get somewhere to land that way. But what we did, just to kind of change it a little bit, is I put a little fill tube right here, connects onto the engine. So that gives me a high spot. And then I put a valve right here. All this is basically a inner tube valve that I put in this top of this elbow. So now this is a high spot in the system. So now I take the cap off of this guy, take the cap off this, fill it till I get fluid out of here, put the cap back on this one, keep filling until I get water in the bottle, start getting fluid, coolant in the bottle, and I know I'm completely full. There's no air in the system. And of course then I run it and make sure, run some air through, or run the engine and make sure that it heats up and everything, and there's, and then it just works great. And that's just a little thing that we came up with, little corny little fix, because we were having a little bit of trouble with keeping air out of the system. And but we've got that solved. I've flown it a few times since we did that. Just a wonderful setup. Okay, so back to what I was talking about though, as far as, my goodness, Alyssa and Jan and Alyssa, they are fantastic. Please, if you have any doubts about what engine to buy for your airplane, if you're in this kind of a horsepower range, 130 horse, man, oh man, I would not hesitate. The engine itself is just fantastic. We all buy engines for performance, whether that's you want to go fast or you want to climb really fast, or we all want to be fast. And this airplane right now, I've got it dialed in, and I'm still testing because I just started flying this in June. I'm at 190 hours-ish on this engine, and that includes some with the other airplane, and about 65 on this airplane. And the engines, it runs like a Timex, like Hondas run. They run like a Timex. And I'm still dialing in the prop. I've got it back to about 4,600 RPM static, which is really pretty low, you would think. But I've got a little 14-foot, 100-foot strip out here, and I'm telling you, this airplane jumps off the ground at about something less than 400 feet. I'm off the ground. And climbs like crazy. And my cruise speeds, I don't know yet. I really haven't tested. And because I'm in Ohio, haven't had really good weather to be out flying. I'm hoping tomorrow, the next day, I'm out and doing some testing and and can figure out cruise speeds and all that stuff. But I'm so happy with it so far. Well, so far, I'm happy with it. If I ever have to buy another engine, I can tell you where I'm going right now. It's going to be Viking Engines. First, I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get any money from them. You guys can send me a hat if you like. No, I'm just kidding. But it's just that I love it so much. And like I said, I know what it is to run a small business. And I just wanted to give them a shout out when I could, because I really appreciated that when I had my business. And so there you go. And like I said, I'll be making a video probably in the next day or so on the avionics part of it with another small company that I'm dealing with. And once again, I'm just having just wonderful, wonderful results with them also. Jan, Alyssa, if you guys want to use this video, feel free, do whatever you want. Let me know when you see it. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one.